Hey YouTube, it's ShryphonX here. Today we're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 23. Like and subscribe for more content. Everyone dies off screen. Goodbye Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 23. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 23 is titled The Ceremony of Harmony. This chapter has 21 pages, including the color page and bonus page. The color page finally reveals Modulo Yuji's colors, showing that he is wearing a dark teal jacket with a hood covering his face. On his left side is Mahito caption, a second encounter between humans and curses. Bonus page. Oski and friends in this one-page story. We see Oski try out Earth's alcohol, particularly a brand of shochu. One Romelian thinks the alcohol could be poisoned and drinks it to be sure. In the next story, that Romelian drinks all the alcohol, but the sight of Dabura was enough to return him to his senses. The Color of Souls editor's note. Maru and Itadori are aiming for world peace, but the chapter begins where we left off. Yuji and Maru debate their options. If you recall, their options were eliminate cursed energy from Japanese people or turn all Japanese people into sorcerers. In spite of the cons of losing a potential renewable resource for the future, Yuji chooses option 1. However, Yuji points out that removing cursed energy from all Japanese people will not prevent the birth of more cursed spirits. Yuji clarifies something Jujutsu Kaisen fans initially thought was a plot hole ever since Chapter 1, when Yuka says cursed spirits only exist in Japan. This is actually the official narrative for 68 years since the Shibuya incident, that Tokyo is the source of these mysterious cursed spirits, in order to reduce the fear from everyone else that could produce more outside Tokyo. Yuji explains that to erase cursed energy from every person is still impossible, because every human, even those overseas, always has a little bit of cursed energy when they are born. This is still enough to create cursed spirits overseas, but not in the same volume as Japan, and yet they still produce strong cursed spirits. Since it has been 68 years since the existence of cursed spirits was made public, the cursed energy of those from overseas has begun to overflow into Tokyo. To get rid of cursed energy from just the Japanese will not be enough to end the problem. However, since Yuji and Maru are in Earth's passageway of souls, then even those overseas are not an exception. Still, if they change the souls of Japanese and Romelians to eliminate cursed energy, they would still emit a little, but by then the body would not be able to handle it, because with their changed souls, their bodies would lack the means to contain or resist cursed energy. The exception are those born without cursed energy gain a superhuman body by offering their technique through a heavenly restriction like Maki and Toji of the Zenin clan. Maru worries about a future without sorcerers since there will still be a few powerful cursed spirits, but Yuji says that he will handle those exceptional cursed spirits since he will be alive for the next few centuries. This will give him time to come up with countermeasures ready for the next generation. Next year, the number of cursed spirits born will only be a handful, and Tokyo can be reconstructed. Maru worries that humans will still produce cursed spirits, to which Yuji says that Maru can use harmony on the cursed spirits. One first step before changing souls will be to remove the confusion that makes Sumerians confuse cursed spirits with Kalans. The Kalyan fully explained, it seems Yuji's domain is taking effect even more as they are in a room filled with stuffed toys. These toys might be the physical form of souls that enter this realm. Yuji clarifies if all the components for harmony were called to the passageway. This leads into Yuji asking about the difference between Kalyan and cursed spirits and why the Romelians treat them as the same. Yuji brings one resembling the Kalyan and non-X. Yuji explains that even though Kalyan look like cursed spirits are born from negative energy, so they are born evil and inherently malevolent, while Kalyans are physical beings that only look like cursed spirits. Yuji mentions the existence of Tenjin, an ancient being who lived for more than a millennia but was constantly aging and regenerating, resulting in the need for a vessel. But after missing the star plasma vessel, eventually, Tenjin became something closer to a cursed spirit, yet for Yuji, they were never a bad person. Yuji also mentions his older brother, Choso, who was part cursed spirit and part human. While they started out rough, due to Yuji killing his fellow death paintings Kichizo and Eso, Choso and Yuji eventually understood each other. Yuji wonders if the reason Kalyan attack any Sumerians not of the Rumal tribe, and yet lack any malicious intent like cursed spirits who go after humans. Maru notices that the souls of Kalyans, cursed spirits, and Remelians have the same color. Cursed spirits are made from leaked cursed energy, which results in a soul with the same color as Kalyans and Remelians. Shared colors is why Kalyans do not attack Remelians. Yuji realizes that it was not that Kalyan had a reason to attack non-Remelians, but that there was a reason not to. They were soul kindred. Cursed spirits may lack physical vessels for their souls, but they still interact with the physical world, and the trait of cursed spirits, could be Maru, says that they cannot change the color of the soul, meaning even idle transfiguration cannot alter the nature of the soul, only its shape. After all, Mahito cannot create new souls to regenerate damage, only move up some essence of the soul and reshape it as if there was no damage. Yuji asks about the logic behind changing the souls of those who have not even been born yet. Maru suggests that instead of changing souls, they will remake the passageway itself. There will be a path that branches out and reshapes the soul by scattering their color, to erase as much cursed energy as possible. The off-screen end of Dabura versus Maharaga, we then cut to a scene from Earth, with an elder shaman from Miguel Ajuel's sorcerer tribe in Kenya, finally giving Dabura the black rope, which Usami brought up in Chapter 11 as a means to save his sister from the Descant Chief's curse. Now the question is what exactly happened during the duel between Dabura and Maharaga. Maru's words hold the answer. Maru apologizes to Dabura, saying this is the second time Maru interfered in a duel between warriors. The first time was in Chapter 9, as he rages about Dura's death. Now, it is pulling Dabura out of his fight with Maharaga before it even finishes. This means Maharaga is still out there, and the fight has essentially been interrupted. So what does this mean for Yuka, who is in Maharaga's shadow in suspended animation? Now, we do not know exactly what Dabura's domain does, but we have our own ideas here. Anyway, with Harmony, Maru transports Dabura to Kenya to receive the black rope. The harmony of Dabura's desire to save his sister leads him to Kenya. Then Dabura is led to the soul passageway to meet with Maru, where Maru apologizes for interfering. Dabura sees that he will be the only one returning to Sumeria, all to save his sister from the Descant Chief's curse. Maru will use Harmony to bring Dabura back to his sister, saying that his role to uphold his promise with Dura to take care of the Remelians is over. Dabura then asks if Maru will be okay on his own. Maru notices Dabura changing, which is clear from how Dabura is smiling now. Dabura remarks that he is caught up to Maru, Dura, and the other true warriors. Dabura then reunites with his younger sister Sepejo in the passageway. With the black rope, the Descant Chief's curse over Sepejo has been broken. After Sepejo thanks Maru, Maru tells Dabura that they will meet again with Harmony. Now Maru realizes what his technique was for. We are Modulo. We see the conditions of Tsurugi, Yuka, and the hospitalized Cross and Usami. Maru then thanks Yuji and apologizes for everything. Yuji then asks if Maru still has one thing to do, the ritual. Maru notes that it is something only he alone will do. Maru floats above the inhuman Makio of Tokyo, with the cursed spirits converted to souls. However, Maru feels like his conviction is not enough. Suddenly, Cross appears, holding his hand and beside Cross is Yuka, both saying that they will work together. Maru and Cross holding hands with their respective human partners, Tsurugi and Yuka. Cross and Yuka build a bond over their shared struggle with fate. Cross bearing the struggles of his oppressed people, compared in Chapter 7 to the Japanese Christians persecuted centuries ago, and Yuka with her shortened lifespan because of brain cancer. Tsurugi and Maru became close friends in spite of being opposites. It was Tsurugi who brought Maru back to his senses, and Maru and Tsurugi both grieved over their siblings' fates as they fought. And in the end, it was Tsurugi who told Maru to find a different way, refusing to use overwhelming power. The death of everyone in the story, unfortunately, the events of Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo have resulted in the deaths of Maru's brother Cross due to being the first victim of war, of Yuka by choosing to summon Maharaga and dying to her cancer on her last month, of Tsurugi because of his binding vow with Rika. This leaves Maru the only survivor of the story, the only one to maintain the harmony between humans and Remelians. With the prayers of peace they shared, Maru activates the rite of harmony. There are 2 chapters of Modulo left after this. What will the world of Jujutsu Kaisen look like now? Editor's note: to a new world. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe for more content. ShryphonX out.